Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that I appreciate you. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. In this video, I'm going to examine some of the consequences of the president's delay in signing the stimulus bill, what could potentially be construed as a caveats of the president's actions, or I should say inactions, because the president delayed the signing of the bill. And it definitely caused a lot of stress, it caused a lot of frustration. Let's examine what exactly is going on behind the scenes. I'll actually show you an interview with Tom Reed from New York, who's a supporter of the president. He's a Republican, and Josh Gottheimer from New Jersey, who's a Democrat. Both are the co-chairs. Both of them are the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus. So we'll take a look at an interview featuring Tom Reed and Josh Gottheimer. But first, I'll show you this article on your screen from Bloomberg, which reads, Trump yields on virus package, signing after a damaging delay. Here's a quote directly from the Bloomberg article. President Trump backed away from a crisis of his own making by signing a pandemic relief bill Sunday night, which is last night, but only after depriving millions of Americans a week of unemployment aid and triggering an outcry from lawmakers in both political parties. By waiting until Sunday to approve the package, President Trump cost as many as 14 million Americans 1 week of expanded unemployment benefits. Meanwhile, the president's surprise attack on the bill last week caused confusion about the government's response at a pivotal moment, with COVID cases spiking and officials rushing to distribute a vaccine. Now, the former US Treasury Secretary economist Ernie Tedeschi, his name is Ernie Tedeschi, he estimated on Twitter that the delay cost workers $9 billion to $10 billion in benefits. Now, here's something pretty astonishing but also pretty true. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Ernie Tedeschi. The president says he's going to fight to boost $600 checks. Instead, he loses $600 for unemployed families. Now, how is this calculated? If you lose both the PEUC program, which is a 13-week of extended benefits, and the $300 boost for a week, you're losing the PEUC program as well as a $300 boost, which equates to approximately $600. And you see this tweet on your screen from Ernie Tedeschi. If he actually goes through with this, it will have cost unemployed workers a week of extended benefits and extended top-up benefits. For the typical worker, in other words, the typical PEUC payment is right around $300, and then the $300 booster on top of that, both of which are lost for a week based on the latest information that we have. So Ernie Tedeschi writes, for the typical unemployed worker, that's $600 lost, exactly the size of the stimulus checks Trump was ostensibly trying to boost. And in a follow-up tweet, Ernie Tedeschi says, and evidently it's not an if anymore, Trump signed it. He's referring to the signature from the president last night. And Ernie Tedeschi also wrote this in his tweet. Trump's stunt cost America $9 to $10 billion in relief that it sorely needs and that both parties in Congress had negotiated. A loss of 1 week of $300 top up for all 20 million unemployment beneficiaries is a loss of and also we have a loss of $200 to $300 for 14 million PEUC and PUA recipients. So basically, we're talking about 20 million of our fellow Americans losing $300, the $300 booster for this week, and we have $200 to $300 lost by way of the PEUC payment for 14 million of our fellow Americans. Congress should pass a backfill. Now, Congress can indeed pass an amendment that creates a backfill. In other words, nothing is lost for this week. But we'll have to wait and see if Congress does indeed do that. These are the comments from Ernie Tedeschi. Let me know whether you agree or disagree. I mean, this is a fact that this has happened, but let me know what you think about the president's delay in the comments section below. Now, there is a flip side to this. Mark Zandi, who's the chief economist at Moody's Analytics, said that the overall impact to the economy will be minimal. Here's a comment from Mark Zandi. There is no upside to the president's dithering over signing the fiscal relief legislation, but there isn't much downside, as he signed before the government shut down and before there was a significant disruption from the loss of unemployment insurance benefits. So that's a comment from Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics. By the way, on another note, the president had said he would send Congress a list of items in the spending bill that he would like rescinded, and Democrats immediately said, nah, we don't care. Here's a comment from House Appropriations Chairwoman Nita Lowry. And she said our Democratic majority will reject any recessions submitted by President Trump. And speaking of rejections, one of the biggest supporters of the president has now criticized the president. The New York Post, you'll see this article on your screen from the New York Post. The Post says, "Give it up, Mr. President, for your sake and the nation's." And let's take a look at this cover of the New York Post, which says, "Stop the insanity." Yes, the New York Post, one of the biggest supporters of the president, has said to the president, "Stop the insanity." You'll see this cover on your screen from the New York Post. "You lost the election. Here's how to save your legacy." And the New York Post writes, "Mr. President, it's time to end this dark charade. We're 1 week away from an enormously important moment for the next 4 years of our country," referring to the January 5th Georgia runoff races. And the New York Post writes, "Unfortunately, you're obsessed with the next day, January 6th, when Congress will certify the Electoral College vote. In other words, you're cheering for an undemocratic coup." This is, again, guys, this is from the New York Post. Let's show you the cover. Again, this is the cover of the New York Post, where the New York Post is basically telling the president to stop the insanity. Well, let's shift gears, guys, and take a look at an interview with Tom Reed, Republican from New York, and Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey. Again, they're both the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus. Let's listen to Tom Reed talking about how the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus and many other lawmakers were scampering behind the scenes once the president said, "Hey, I'm not going to sign it," a few days ago. And what they did behind the scenes, they talked about their outreach, and Tom Reed actually thanked the president. Also, after you watch this, let me know, should we actually thank the president for signing this, or should we say, "Hey, Mr. President, why did you wait so long?" Let me know what you think in the comment section below, because there is an actual economic damage in terms of $9 to $10 billion in lost unemployment benefits, which, you saw the tweets from Ernie Tedeschi earlier. In fact, let's show you the tweets again from Ernie Tedeschi on your screen, the tweets I referenced earlier, where there is a $9 to $10 billion impact, where millions of our fellow Americans will essentially have lost $600 because the president waited an extra 24 hours unless Congress passes some sort of an amendment. Let's take a look at comments from the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus. And Josh Gottheimer, the Democrat from New Jersey, said that both he and Tom, both the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus, support more stimulus payments. Let's roll the tape and hear what they had to say.
I'll start with you. Take me behind the scenes to the text chains and the phone calls that have been going on among Republicans about the fact that the president was going to sign it and then suddenly didn't sign it and started trashing this bill that his administration helped to craft and then finally signed it tonight.
Well, obviously there was a tremendous amount of anxiety that evening at about 7:15 when we all saw the Twitter. It caught us all by surprise, to be perfectly honest with you, as everyone knows. But we immediately went to work. Josh and I got on the phone immediately. We called our friends in the Senate that we now work with in a bipartisan, bicameral way, and then started immediately reaching out to the White House, to the president himself, and we started the dialogue, working with my colleagues in the Republican side of the aisle in the House, with folks from all different walks of different spectrums of the ideology, and just said, look, we have to get this delivered. And what are the issues? And then the issues started to come into focus with the $1,400 in addition to the $600 to get to the $2,000 the president's shooting for, the concern over the Section 230 repeal. But at the end of the day, it was a tremendous amount of work. Josh and I were working on Christmas Day. We convened the Problem Solvers Caucus, 50 members strong, to get their thoughts, inputs, strategy, and tactics. And I'll just tell you, working together, we communicated where we stood, to the president. And we thanked the president. I thank the president for signing the bill tonight at 7:48 p.m. And we are glad that we now have this relief flowing to the American people.
And Congressman Gottheimer, talk more about those conversations that were going on and what this means practically going forward. Tomorrow, there will be a series of votes, I believe, that were already planned before this toing and froing was happening behind the scenes. But how will this play out in terms of voting on what the president says that he wants? I know in some cases, like $2,000, the Democrats have been pushing for that for months and months and months. So that's an easy one.
Well, it's something that Tom and I both support, and more direct payments to help Americans. But most importantly, tomorrow we're going to vote. We're going to actually have a relief get out the door to people who have been right in the holiday time so needing extra support, whether that's for unemployment, and we're going to get $300 more a week going out, or more help with food because we've got people in food lines for the very first time, with rental assistance. As you know, unemployment officially, the extension ran off yesterday, so that's now going to be extended. So many people will get a lifeline there, and getting vaccines out, more support for vaccine distribution, which is so key. So really, what was most important is getting these dollars out the door, these resources out the door. The $600 will go out the door, and now we'll fight for more resources. And that's what we're going to vote on tomorrow. And I know the Senate has said they're going to be voting on that as well, at least starting the process. That's important. Tom and I have been behind supporting the direct payments getting out the door for some time. So now it's just a matter of getting that done. But again, a huge sigh of relief for so many families who need help right now tonight. So many small businesses that are on the verge of going out of business. So many people sick across our country that need help. So this is very important that the president signed this into law, and I'm really pleased that he did.
That's it, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about this incredible cover from the New York Post. Let's show you the cover once again. There it is, the cover of the New York Post, essentially warning or letting the president know of the real world consequences of, in their words, insanity. Let me know what you think of comments from the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus and about the economic impact of the president's delay in signing this stimulus package. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. Now, keep in mind, I do not have a crystal ball. You see that? I do not have a crystal ball, so I can't make predictions about the future, but I can tell you how to plan for the future. I can tell you how to understand things that are happening in the country, things that indeed affect the economy, and by extension, things that affect your money. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. If you want to get on our text message alerts mailing list, simply get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, and send that to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list. You'll receive important news, important alerts about information that has the potential to impact your money. You'll also get information about any programs that we might release going forward. Now, if you want, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Also, remember that sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. So simply within your browser, simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. Bookmark that on your browser and simply come back to our homepage and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. You'll get exclusive news and content on Instagram. Also, I recommend that you follow us on Twitter. You'll get exclusive information, breaking news and alerts on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So please make sure to follow us on Twitter as well. One of the things that I'm extremely proud about is our growing community. We are intelligent, the community is respectful, the community is bipartisan, the community is growing rapidly. So comment below and become a part of our growing community. You will be like a member of our family, and you might even make some new friends in our community. So come back to the Ignition Time channel, engage in the comment section below with other members of our community. Also, if you found this video helpful, please just share it with just 2 friends or family members. All I ask is you share the video with 2 friends or family members. You'll always find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out our description section in case you want to dig deeper into the content that we release. Finally, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would be greatly appreciated. Gently ignite the like button, gently ignite that notification button, but do it gently. I don't want you to, oh no, I don't want you to crack your screen. That's not going to be fun. Please click the like button. That tells the YouTube algorithm that you found this content useful. I really appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.